Why would you call me and then leave a blank voice message?
Because I just
We
like
got him.
voicemail
Got him.
sometimes.
Hey, what's up?
This is Tim. I shudder.
My wife has a voicemail that says, it's tax season, call Tim. And so I called her the other day and got that voicemail. I was like, but I'm Tim. Am I supposed to call me? And she said yes.
I have reached this number in error.
Oh yeah, don't forget the blurb. We gotta get people on that Patreon.
Actually, you know, let me take a quick peek over and make sure.
Oh, they let Andrew Tate back in the country? That's a mistake.
That was a mistake. Mistakes were made. Alright, this Bin Podcast Network production is brought to you by our patrons whose continued support keeps the lights on. So thank you, Ollie, Dutch, LeClaire Vert, and as always, tons of mice. We love you long time.
From Universal Studios
I'm here.
Hollywood. This is American Gladiator.
So,
Mike,
you
yeah.
guys- oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna send you a clip after the show. I keep forgetting for you to put into the soundboard for me because I think it would be hilarious.
For all of you at home, hi. What's up? Billy, Jen Wallace, Russell, Vike Stricker.
You should fucking ban that guy. Here he's a troll.
He's already been banned from Politics Social, I hear. When me and the lads play a little Xbox, and then like we're waiting on Tim to show up, or Tim's like, I'm gonna go get some water. Or no, what do you say? Water.
Water.
Weirder, or whatever you say. However, you know, Connecticans say it. And by the time he gets back, we're already chanting some sort of Tim chant.
Oh yes.
Oh my God, it is so funny. He hates it, but we love it. 2.5 Tims is good.
Oh yes,
Tim,
yes.
Tim. Like if your name is Tim, it's so easy to like remix your name into a song.
Well, it's one syllable. Also, I've heard
Extremely
the Chili's baby back ribs.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Oh,
Ha
I want my Timmy back. Timmy back.
Tim. Everybody. Tim. It's good stuff. Is that better? Audio better? Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I hate it when people don't tell me like something's wrong with my mic. Because I'm like, dude, I've been going for 15 minutes. How am I supposed to make the clip now?
Well, it's weird because like in my headphones, you're perfectly fine. So it must be like YouTube audio.
It's in Streamlabs because sometimes like yesterday, they were saying like, oh my God, you're like blowing out my eardrums. I was like, oh, you're right. Let me turn it down. And now, you know, you can't win. You can't win.
Billy says just a little bit more, just a smidge more.
I'll give
More.
you more.
More power.
I want what every man wants. More.
I'll apologize in advance if I cough your ears off because I have a cold.
I told them, some people are into that.
I know. We should put it on OnlyFans.
Our secret Patreon.
Our little Patreon.com/The Bin Podcast After Hours.
So I have a daughter, and she's ridiculous. She's probably gonna be. You're gonna hear her screaming in the background, I'm sure. But you know she loves that shit. And I was doing that while she was in the high chair a couple days ago, and she burped on my finger, and I was like, "Do I wash it? Like what? Do I do? What do I do with this hot burp that she just burped on my hand?"
So one of my dogs burps like he's a person. Like he's a tiny little black pug, and like he'll just come up to you and go bruh, and you're like, "What the fuck, bro? Why are you burping in my face?"
Zero would do that if he drinks some water and he runs over, sits on you on the couch, and he's like, "Hey, bud," and he just locks eyes with you while he does it. I'm like, this is so awkward. I don't like what you're doing to me.
And it's like his whole body too. You can hear the burp coming through his whole body.
It's resonating through his chest.
And you're like, dude, what the fuck? Why are you burping like a person? You're a tiny little 10-pound dog.
I would like to take you on a trip, Mr. Sir.
I like trips.
We're going out west to Wyoming, home of the Whites, the birthplace.
For
the birthplace,
sure.
some would say.
The birthplace of the Whites.
Whites. I don't think you've seen this, but I think it's perfect.
Next up is...
Oh, this is some boring ass board.
Hello. Thank you, Madam Chairman. As the Senate overwhelmingly voted yes.
You can call me Mr. Chairman if you want.
Well, I cannot be compelled to use your preferred pronouns as you have all voted.
Wait a minute. We're talking about...
Hilarious. I ain't calling you Mr. Nothing.
Madam Chairman. That's so good. He immediately got triggered.
Next up is... Britt.
Hello. Thank you, Madam Chairman. As the Senate overwhelmingly voted yes.
You can call me Mr. Chairman if you want.
Well, I cannot be compelled to use your preferred pronouns as you have all voted.
Wait a minute. We're talking about preferred pronouns. A lot of people are. I prefer to be called Chairman French. That's my preferred pronoun.
I know, and you all voted that preferred pronouns cannot be compelled speech in SF 77. Anyway, my name is Britt Borrell, and I'm a constituent calling in from Casper to voice my opposition to HB 32.
Your time's almost up. Go ahead.
You what? How she only get 30 seconds? What the fuck? We're not even...
In my town, we get 3 minutes.
She's not even 40 seconds in. He's like, you're almost out of time.
Your time's almost up. You only had one. What is this, like a House floor speech? You only get 1 minute?
Damn.
As Ms.
They ain't got a lot of time to waste out there in Wyoming, you see. lots of things moving and shaking all at the same time.
Burlingame noted here today, this bill not only flies in the face of biological fact because intersex and two-spirit people have always existed, but it puts women in real danger through government overreach. The only logical enforcement mechanism for bills like this involves gross invasions of privacy. If women do not present as female enough, could they be required to undergo a genital inspection just to use the bathroom or the gym locker room?
I don't want anyone to see anyone's genitals.
Yeah, I don't really want to, like, I know this is America and we're all prudes, but like...
We are pretty prude.
I don't want to just see that, just like, you have to look at that. Look, make sure.
Who's like, I'll do that job. Like, I don't want that guy anywhere near us.
The same people who wear those female body enforcer hats.
You know, it's like the... whoever volunteers for it should be put on a list. You know, like
I'll check the high school kids to make sure they got the right parts.
And that list is the sex registry.
It's the same list.
Would they be required to submit some kind of medical proof of genitals to the government? The bills introduced this session attacking trans.
Yeah. You got to take a picture of your junk. Send it to the government.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Gender people and children are couched in insincere language about protecting women. However, what they are really doing is targeting a demographic that makes up 1% of the population. I'm tracking more than
That's how it starts.
Yep.
That's how it starts.
Dozen bills that this body has heard stripping rights and healthcare access away from women and trans people rather than focusing on issues that actually matter to Wyoming citizens. This legislative session has been filled with bills more concerned with engaging in culture wars than tackling the difficult work.
No. Republicans don't do culture wars.
They would never. They're not. They don't do that.
That's not their thing.
They're focused on the hard work of governing.
After Malmedy, some German captives were executed by American troops.
Wrong answer. When you are
You were all sent here to do, to govern effectively for all.
Steven's got it right. Steven, get your air horn. He's got it right. Keep the junk in the trunk. Thank you.
You know what?
Put
That's
that
good
on
stuff.
a
That's
fucking
good-
t-shirt.
Yep. That's a good slogan.
Put that on a t-shirt. Keep the junk in the trunk. It's none of your fucking business. What are you gonna do something to it? I didn't fucking think so. So leave it alone. You don't need to know what's down there.
There's a Patton Oswalt joke about like how if the Supreme Court ever took up like transgenderism, he's pretty sure the last word in the argument would be pants. Just wear pants. Like that's it. Nobody cares. Just wear pants.
They act like we're all fucking Donald Duck out here and we're just like scarring kids for life. Like no one's walking around pantless. Or dressless. Whatever.
All of the people of Wyoming. So I ask you to please stop this hateful rampage to put women and trans people in deliberate physical danger. Please vote no on this bill, and please, for the love of our great state, do your jobs.
Great job, Britt. Way to light them up.
Good job.
Just one more time for me.
Next up is Britt.
Hello. Thank you, Madam Chairman. As the Senate overwhelmingly voted yes.
You can call me Mr. Chairman if you want.
Well, I cannot be compelled to use your preferred pronouns as you have all
Wait
voted.
a minute. We're talking about
Wait a minute. Oh, wait, I got
Wait
that
a
too.
minute.
I bet that's the same kid. He's all grown up now.
Wait a minute.
Nerd. Here at the Ben Podcast, we love our LGBTQ plus IA community because they're us. They're all us.
Yeah.
It's us, y'all. We don't attack us. You nerds. We're going back east, unfortunately.
Oh no. Yes.
Yes.
President Macron.
A real president. Now there's a president. Look at that suit. Woo, look at that tie. Looking good.
Just nodding, yes. And he really sold me out because I got back the next day and I read the papers. I said, that's not what we said.
Enhance.
He's a smart customer.
Hey, you better watch out. Hey, did you see Trump had all that bruising on his hands and shit?
Yeah.
It's because Macron dealt his ass a mighty blow, boy. He kept touching my head. Well, squeeze your shit, boy. You better quit squeezing my shit.
Customer, I will tell you that. That was exactly what we agreed.
I'm looking at his hand now like, let me see.
Use those words. I think that we're going to see how. I think we have a chance of a really good settlement between various countries. And, you're talking about Europe, and you're talking about Ukraine as part of that whole situation.
I just want to point out how embarrassing this is. He's asked nothing but softball questions.
Mm-hmm.
This guy cannot answer a question. He is struggling to keep up.
Yeah, and he can't fucking remember where Ukraine is, so that's
It's on a map, Tim. That's where it is.
Yeah.
It's on the Google Rare Earth map.
A lot of support also. So let's see how it all works out. It might work out. Look, you can never make up lives. The one thing you can make up the money, but you can't make up the lives. A lot of lives lost. I think probably a lot more lives than people are talking.
You lads are too young to realize how old people bruise at the slightest touch. My wife is very pale. And my mother bruises very easily too. Like, I get it.
Is your wife one of them whites?
She is. But to get bruising on the top of your hand is very suspicious.
It's a little bit suspicious for sure.
Do you think that Doge could
I think he's on blood thinners.
more streamlined communication?
Yeah, he's got a heart problem.
Telling employees to give 5 things that they've done last week.
He has a what?
He has a heart problem.
And told people to ignore it, but Elon Musk.
Do your work, Big Mac.
Where he wanted to
Do
know
your
what he
work.
did this week. You know why he wanted that, by the way?
You don't know.
You don't
I
know.
thought it was great. Because we have people that don't show up to work and nobody even knows if they work for the government. So by asking the question, tell us what you
So then who the hell did you send the email to?
Yeah, if you think that those are email addresses or to people that don't exist,
Then why would you send it?
then why would the fuck would you send it? The whole thing doesn't make any sense.
Look, I'm gonna start figuring out if people have real phone numbers. I'm gonna start here. 0000001. Nope, fake. Phones are fake. No one has real phone numbers.
did this week, what he's doing is saying, are you actually working? And then if you don't answer, like you're sort of semi.
You know, like when you don't answer somebody who you don't fucking work
Yeah.
for. Like,
Also,
like Tim,
yeah.
you could send me a thing like, hey, Mikey, send me an email letting me know what you did last week. I'm like, hey, Tim, go fuck yourself. None of your goddamn business.
Also, who's out there checking their email on the weekend when they work? Like, I'm not. When I'm not at the office, I don't fucking check my email.
For what? Am I getting paid to check this email?
And I got a .house.gov email now. Like,
Look at you.
I don't check that shit though.
La-ti-da.
Have you ever been wrong? I was like, no.
I fired or you're fired. Because a lot of people are not answering because they don't even exist. They're
They don't even exist.
So let
The
me get. So you just give money to an email account?
Right. Why don't you? I mean, you're already in the payment systems. Why don't you just see if they're getting a check? Like, wouldn't that have just been a lot easier than sending everyone an email?
Why don't you talk to their boss?
Or why don't you like actually govern? Just be competent.
Yeah, maybe not let a fucking ketamine addict send emails off to people like it's fucking Twitter.
That's how badly various parts of our government were run by, and especially by this last group. So what they're doing is they're trying to find out who's working for the government. Are we paying other people that aren't working? And, you know, where is all this? Where was the money going? We have found
I know where $30 billion went over the last 10 years.
Yeah, right.
hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud so far. And we've just...
Oh, I need to get Maury Povich on here. And the lie detector determined that was a lie. They accidentally rounded up a couple times, Tim. Instead of like 5 million, they accidentally put 5 billion. You know, just a factor of 100.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not like only 2 billion instead of what they said, like 55 billion or some shit like that.
But don't worry, Tim. That 2 billion gets us closer to the $1 trillion
Yeah.
that they're looking for.
Yeah, they just need $998 billion more.
started. We're actually going to Fort Knox to see if the gold is there.
Do not let them into Fort Knox.
What the fuck?
Don't
Why?
let them in.
Is this like a conspiracy theory that there's like no gold in Fort Knox?
Probably.
Is that what's going on?
No, dude, that's what he's like. Let me inspect the just like he inspected the fucking the changing rooms at Miss Teen USA.
Yeah.
He don't belong in there. Don't let him in there.
Don't let that dude into Fort Knox.
Look,
You'll be missing some gold.
I saw Die Hard 3. Okay, I know how this works. I know how this ends up. Fucking Scar will be fucking scooting off with our gold.
Maybe
Shout out Jeremy Irons.
somebody stole the gold. Tons of gold.
Some of the agencies.
So I think it was actually, there was a lot of genius in sending it. We're trying to find out if people are working. And so we're sending a letter to
He looks very tanned after his golf trip.
people.
Very.
Please tell us what you did last week. If people don't respond, it's very possible that there is no such person or they're not working.
Some of the agency heads instructed their employees not to respond because they were waiting on further guidance. But Elon Musk's tweet said,
Hey, FBI agent, what did you do last week? Be as detailed as possible. Tell me
Right.
all the people you're investigating. Let's just put that in a regular ass email. That totally can't be intercepted or hacked. He doesn't know how national security works. He doesn't understand cybersecurity. He doesn't understand any of that shit.
Dear CIA agent, tell me 5 things you did.
That a failure to respond would be taken as a resignation. So there's been a disconnect in communication.
Who's your undercover
Are you concerned
agent?
at all about that?
Only, no. That was done in a friendly manner. Only things
Friendly.
such as perhaps Marco at State Department where they have very confidential things, or the FBI where they're working on confidential things. And they don't mean that in any way.
But this is, obvious, right? Like you wouldn't want like your intelligence agencies to answer this. That's why Elon didn't send it to him, right? Oh, you know what? Fucking Elon's the reply all guy. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate the reply all guy.
Here's one federal worker's response to the emails. 1, supported and defended the Constitution of the United States against foreign enemies. 2, supported and defended the Constitution of the United States against foreign enemies. 3, bore true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States. 4, discharged the duties of my office well and faithfully. 5, responded to some random email from an anonymous kid.
And that's these kids aren't even fucking vetted. Even at I won't even play kids can't do anything right. But no one knows who these kids are. Like the kid's name is his gamer tag is Big Balls.
Yeah.
Sorry, dog. I'm not sending Big Balls what fucking agents agency secrets just because he asked.
Way combatively with Elon. They're just saying there are some people that you don't want to really have them tell you what they're working on last week. But other than that, I think everyone thought it was a pretty ingenious idea. We have to find out where these people are. Who are they? And we said if you don't respond, we assume you're not around.
And that holds, that stands.
And you're not getting paid anymore, too. So, we're doing a real job. And we just had a poll
A real what job?
Yeah, they're doing a real job.
come out, I guess the Harvard poll, saying that it's massively popular what we're doing.
Oh, that is a lie.
Mr. President, do you still believe in NATO, in the alliance between Europe and
Look at
America
Macron.
in NATO? Are you going to go
NATO
to the
is
summit in June?
very much involved in this. When I first got elected at the very beginning, first term, I got hundreds.
It's been a while since we've covered him, in detail. He really does talk like a third grader.
Yeah. His vocabulary is shrinking all the time. He is not good.
Because, the question was, how do you feel about NATO? And his answer is...
When I first got elected at the very beginning, first term.
Wait a minute.
Europe and America in NATO? Are you going to go
NATO
to the
is
summit in June?
very much involved in this.
In what? What the fuck are you talking about?
He doesn't know.
That doesn't even make any sense.
He's just making up stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When I first got elected at the very beginning, first term, I got hundreds of billions of dollars put into NATO. NATO had no money because they hadn't paid for years. And I said, look, if you don't pay...
Steven says, is it just me? But what's with them hand gestures going on? It's the accordion. He plays the ghost accordion.
He does play a ghost accordion.
We're not going to be a part of NATO. We're not going to protect. We're not going to do what we're supposed to do. And we took in hundreds of billions of dollars into NATO. No, NATO's a good...
We took in hundreds of billions of dollars from NATO. I think you mean we gave. This is the shit I'm talking about. Basic words. He says the opposite, and then no one's like, what? NATO paid you hundreds of billions of dollars? What? No one just asked the obvious fucking shit because he's senile, and they're afraid to upset him.
Well, and like I said before, he thinks that NATO is some sort of protection racket where, the other countries pay America to protect them because he's an idiot. He doesn't understand what an alliance is.
Good thing if it's done properly and if it's used properly.
It's a treat. Oh my God.
Can you talk up a little louder?
Uh-oh, ears going bad?
A little louder? You have a beautiful voice, but you're not...
Perhaps you should give other people besides you a microphone. But
Yeah,
since
right?
this second term, no one in the press corps, in the press gallery, gets a microphone except for him, because he wants to be the big guy.
Where are you from?
Only he gets a microphone.
From Italy. Oh, I love Italy. Go ahead.
I want to know if you have the same idea.
Is that Marco Rubio's weird face I'm seeing on the side?
Well, look,
Probably.
Italy is a very
Looking like
important
Pinocchio.
nation. We have a wonderful woman as your leader.
We have a wonderful woman as your leader.
He doesn't know how to speak. He doesn't know how to like have a real conversation.
25th Amendment. 25th Amendment.
Conversation today, one that we had that you said.
I feel like we could handle Vance.
Yeah,
Vance has negative riz. I think we can get this back under control.
he's a couch fucker.
And no, I think Italy is doing very well. I think Italy's got very strong leadership with.
He'll be too busy with the furniture in the Oval Office.
He put the sections sectional. Bringing sectionals
Any
back.
other questions?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you clarify what you meant in your truth today on the major economic development transactions between the U.S. and Russia?
With respect to what, Russia?
In solving the peace deal, you said there would be major economic development transactions.
Oh, that didn't help.
Which will take place between the United States and Russia.
Yeah, we're trying to do some economic development deals. They have a lot of things that we want, and we'll
Man,
see.
let
I mean, I
Macron
don't know if
talk.
that will come to fruition.
No, let's skip to Macron.
Vote against the UN resolutions that Ukraine.
Yeah, there's Marco Rubio.
I would rather not explain it.
In the U.S.
I would rather not explain
Now and having US
why the
vote
United
against
States
the UN
sided with Iran and Russia.
He hates Iran and North Korea. Oh wait, no, he doesn't. He just
Yeah, no,
wants
he
to.
loves those guys.
He just wants to blow up their nuclear site, and then he wants to like be. Well, I don't know if him and Kim Jong Un are best friends anymore.
They might not be.
I think they fell out, which is a real shame. Which is a real shame because I really thought they had a budding romance kicking off. They were sending love letters. It was very sweet. But then he called him Rocket Man on Twitter, and then he got banned. So there was that.
that Ukraine proposed and also the U.S. proposed.
I would rather not explain it now, but it's sort of self-evident, I think.
Mr. President, you talked about increasing
Sure.
tariffs on products from the European.
That's one way
Nope.
to not answer a question.
Zero pushback. Zero pushback. What do you mean by that, Mr. President? Why are you so fucking stupid, Mr. President?
Can you count to 8?
Is that still something you want to do today?
Well, it's not increasing, it's reciprocal. So whatever they charge us, we're charging.
Sorry, I'm all over Steven's quotes here. As I said in the thread before, Vance brings a whole new scary meaning to sofa couch surfing.
So it's not a question
He's
of
banning
increasing.
all that plastic
Yeah,
that they
if
sell
charge
around the
us
outsides of the
20%,
couches.
We charge them 20%. If they charge us 30 or 40%, then we do that too. So that would be on European Union, but that really would be with respect.
Hey, EU, do it. We don't care. Do it.
Yeah,
Do it. Do it.
Whatever. Whatever.
Reciprocity.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
So
Just do it.
Reciprocal. Whatever they charge us, we charge them. No
Sure,
forget
yeah,
about
trade
it.
war.
Even
That's
USC,
That's
great.
great for the American people, and it really brings down costs.
Yeah.
Soon, maybe in May for the 9th of May for the anniversary.
I mean, not soon, but I would be certainly, if this all gets settled out, which I
Hey, Tim, what's May 9th?
What is May 9th?
In the chat, if you can guess it, you get a gold star and an air horn.
think it will, sure, I would go there.
On the 9th of
And
May?
you'd come here too.
On the 9th of May on the Red Square?
I don't know the 9th of May, no, I don't. I think
He doesn't know what the 9th of May is either.
But
What is
no,
the 9th
No.
of May?
appropriate time,
I know
would be
now.
the most.
It's VE Day, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It's the end of the Second World War. It's the day that the war stopped. The big one. It stopped. That's May 9th. You should probably be aware of you should have a calendar. And then have a big gold circle around that.
Monsieur le Président, est-ce que l'envoi de troupes françaises
I
ou
think the
européennes
war
est
can end
envisagé en
soon.
Ukraine?
Within weeks. Yeah, I think so, right? Don't you think so?
Oh, he's going to Russia in a couple of weeks? Oh, okay. We may not have nothing to worry about, y'all.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
I'd like to ask, have you.
Let 'em go.
We could end it within weeks, if we're smart. If we're not smart, it'll keep going and we'll keep.
Well, if you're
losing,
involved, that kind of
young,
implies a certain level of...
Beautiful people, that shouldn't be dying. And we don't want that. And remember what I said. This could escalate into a third world.
Oh, Tim, real quick, can you check and see if the Epstein files have been dropped yet? They're supposed to drop today.
War.
By who?
And we don't want that either.
Mr. President, your envoy Steve Witkoff,
The Attorney General of the United States.
ceasefire in the conflict, but the Russian government has denied that out of hand. Are you worried that they're not dealing in good faith?
No, I think they
Not yet.
at some point will agree to that. I think they probably wanted to. And I think once you have a ceasefire, it's going to end because they're not going from a ceasefire back to war. I think people have had their full. I'm just glad I was able to help because there was no communication with Russia until I came along. Biden
Yeah, because they just sent tanks.
Yeah.
That was their communication. We're saying tanks.
couldn't communicate. He couldn't communicate with his own child. So Biden didn't communicate. He couldn't. It was terrible. He hadn't spoken to Putin in 3 years. You're trying to end a war. People are being killed. Every week, thousands of people are being killed. Soldiers, in this case, mostly. Also towns, as
Mostly Russian soldiers.
back and forth. No, it's a shame. This should have never happened. This is a very sad. This is going to go down in the history books. This is a very sad moment because that should have been stopped.
Oh, you ain't lying.
Never started, and
You ain't lying.
if it did
It's a
start,
sad
it
moment.
should have stopped the first week, not 3 years later. Okay?
Je vais répondre sur Lomi, because juste, je pense que plusieurs questions de votre collègue
drop it like it's hot.
qui rejoignent les questions posées par les collègues américains. D'abord, cette discussion est utile et construire la paix est une nécessité. La deuxième
Look at
chose,
Trump's
c'est
face.
que
He has no idea what's going
He's
on.
like trying to figure it out. It's so funny.
He's like, I don't speak a fucking word of French.
He's trying to like use context clues.
Et que c'est ce que veut dire le président Trump quand il dit il n'y aura plus
He's
de
like,
problème.
yep, that's me.
Je pense que la force du réengagement américain aujourd'hui, c'est en quelque sorte l'incertitude aussi pour
his hand's bigger than mine.
Donc il y a une capacité de dissuasion qui est là, qui permet de sceller d'abord sans doute une trêve,
Now
la
he's
capacité à
bored.
vérifier que cette trêve est respectée, et ensuite un accord de paix.
He's debating on whether to interrupt.
De reconstruire
Yeah.
l'Ukraine, mais de lui apporter aussi les garanties de sécurité. Dans le cadre de ces garanties de sécurité, nous pensons que nous avons notre rôle à jouer. Et donc, on verra à ce moment-là de la discussion, je ne veux pas la préempter, ce qui est
Darren.
nécessaire pour que l'Ukraine puisse rester un pays souverain. Et d'ailleurs, dans les discussions entre l'Ukraine et les États-Unis d'Amérique, il y a cette question d'une souveraineté ukrainienne qui est respectée. Et donc, nous, ce que nous avons préparé en particulier avec nos partenaires britanniques, dans le cadre d'un travail très étroit qu'on a mené ces dernières semaines, et partagé avec tous les pays européens, et alliés qui sont prêts à s'y joindre, c'est l'idée qu'on est prêt à apporter ces garanties de sécurité. Les conditions, elles doivent en être définies.
Let's get to the leg holding.
Par
Oh, yes.
l'accord. Ça peut
They
aller
have a
jusqu'à
weird,
l'envoi,
touchy
comme l'a
relationship.
dit le président.
This is just toilet Trump.
Yeah.
Has opposed unfreezing it to pay Ukraine and compensate the U.S. for its support. Is France going to lift its opposition to that?
This is, we speak about frozen assets. We already used them to back precisely the loans negotiated at the G7. And it's part of the sanctions, so it will depend on the follow-up of the discussions. But clearly we respect international law. It's just frozen assets now. You can take the proceeds of the frozen assets, but you cannot take the assets themselves because it's not respecting international law, and we want to respect international
How is one different than the other? If you can
Trump
take
doesn't.
the proceeds from it, how can you not take
Because
the
it's very different. You keep the assets, you take the proceeds because they are paralyzed
It's called not stealing.
Yeah, it's called not stealing.
in a certain way. You take the proceeds during the wartime, but you keep the assets, and it's part of the negotiation at the end of the war. Because, this war costed all of us a lot of money. And this is the responsibility of Russia, because the aggressor is Russia.
Should the U.S. be compensated?
So at the end of the day,
Look, he's like, the aggressor's Russia. He's like, I think
It's Ukraine's fault they got into that war.
they shouldn't have been aggressed.
They said Russia invade us.
Please, get over here.
assets should be part of the negotiation. All in all,
Will France support the U.S. being compensated?
I support the idea to have Ukraine first being compensated because they are the one to have lose a lot of their fellow citizens and being destroyed by these attacks. Second, all of those who paid for could be compensated, but not by Ukraine, by Russia. because they were the one to aggress.
And if you have been under a very large rock for a little while, the assets that have been seized from Russian companies and Russia at large have will be used once, if and when peace breaks out, to rebuild Ukraine. And then if there's any money left, it'll go back to the countries who donated. That's what he's saying. And Trump's like,
Just so you understand, Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back.
No, in fact, to be frank,
Mikey or Tim, can I be cheeky and ask for a shout out to Daily Blase on a Friday? His Friday Frolics is top drawer. Absolutely. And you get the big air horn for Daily Blase. We love him.
we paid 60% of the total efforts, and it was through, like the US, loans, guarantee, grants, and we provided real money, to be clear. We have 230 billion frozen assets in Europe, Russian assets, but this is not as a collateral of a loan, because this is not our belonging. So they are frozen. If at the end of the day, in the negotiation we will have with Russia, they're ready to give it to us, super. It will be loan at the end of the day, and Russia would have paid for that.
If you
This is my
believe
wish.
that, it's okay with me.
Mr. President,
But they get their money back, and we don't, and now we do. But, you know, that's only fair.
What the fuck? What the fuck is he doing? What the fuck is he doing? He's like, if you believe that load of malarkey, whatever. But we're gonna get our money back, and if they don't want it back, whatever.
He's not connected to the same lobby that the rest of us are. Like, he's just in a
Like,
separate lobby. Like, he is not connected to reality anymore.
He's out there fucking playing on Forge, doing whatever he wants.
I put a warthog here.
Well, we're negotiating everything, and everything's on the table, and we'll see if we can get some land back, and we'll see about a lot of different things, and we're gonna be
Who the fuck is we?
making a little speech and say a few
Oh, we is Russia. I forgot.
Yeah, we is Russia.
We is Russia.
words. In a little while, we're gonna have another meeting, a luncheon meeting, and we'll see you in about 2 hours.
And we'll have chicken
Thank you
nuggets.
very much, everybody.
Embarrassing. Sorry, France. Sorry for that. Golly.
Gee whiz.
Gee willikers. This is good.
Well, the state of the company is maybe better than it was a couple of days ago. For sure, it was on shaky ground for a few days, but now the CEO of Engineered Structures Incorporated is out of a job. Thomas Hill submitted.
Ooh, do you want to guess what he did?
Embezzlement. I'm gonna say embezzlement.
Ooh, I wish.
His resignation just after 2 this afternoon, 4 days after twice throwing a Nazi salute at a company get-together. And in case you haven't seen the video, last Thursday, ESI held its annual State of the Company meeting at the Boise
All
Center.
right.
A few minutes or so into that meeting,
Sure.
CEO Hill did this.
Nazi salutes.
Yeah, it was.
Whoa. If it was possible, that had even less charisma than fucking when Elon did it.
How do you have a bad Nazi salute? Like, I think they're all bad, but that's like a worse. All right, let's get one more time for posterity.
This.
Oh, what is that picture of Trump? He's got full turtle face on.
Yeah, he's got like a floating image of Trump behind him. Like, this is wow.
This is a business meeting? Yo,
Ain't any business I've ever seen.
these white dudes are tripping. They're like, we're back, baby.
Yeah, it was just 8 seconds out of an hours-long meeting. And very quickly, things went downhill for Hill when videos of that 2-time Nazi salute made the rounds on social media. And of course, there was the shock that goes with such a thing. But there were also those who asked the question of, like, what's the big deal? Make no mistake, though, it is a big deal, which is why this afternoon, Hill resigned, saying, while my behavior was never intended to promote hatred or extremist views, I recognize it has rightfully generated intense backlash.
Hold on, news channel. I want to see the whole thing. There we go. Monday, February 24th, 2025. Resignation letter from Tom Hill. Dear members of the board, colleagues, and valued stakeholders. It is with a heavy heart that I announce my voluntary resignation as CEO of ESI Construction and chairman of the board of directors, effective immediately. While my behavior was never intended to promote hatred or extremist views, I recognize that it was rightfully generated intense backlash and has overshadowed the mission of our company. I take full responsibility for my actions and the impact they have had on our community, our colleagues, and our stakeholders. I understand. This is ChatGPT. I understand that as a leader, I must exemplify the highest standards of conduct and integrity. It is time for ESI to move forward and focus on its core values and the work we are committed. It's construction, brother. And the work we are committed to doing for our customers and communities. Please accept my sincere apologies for the hurt I have caused. I remain deeply broke for what this incident has created, and I am committed to learning from this. How do you learn from a... You knew it was bad when you did it.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was like, let me try this.
Everyone's doing it. I wish
See what
ESI
happens.
Construction continued success and a future built on respect and excellence.
My favorite part of that is that halfway through you abandoned the accent.
Yeah, I couldn't keep it up.
Behavior was never intended to promote hatred or extremist views. I recognize it has rightfully generated intense backlash and has overshadowed the mission of our company. Hill said he takes full responsibility and he realizes the impact his actions had on community and our stakeholders. And as a leader, he must exemplify the highest standards of conduct and integrity.
Bro, Target lost over $1 billion at this point from getting rid of DEI. What the fuck did you think was going to happen to you?
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, tomorrow is like a day of don't buy things tomorrow.
Yes,
it's a
yes,
national blackout day.
If you are in the States, buy your gas, buy your groceries, buy whatever you need today. Tomorrow, we don't buy shit. Shit.
Tomorrow we ain't buying nothing.
Nothing. Don't you pull your debit card out. Don't use cash. Nothing. Make breakfast at home. Make your coffee at home and take it in. Nothing. They get nothing tomorrow.
So ESI is moving forward with President Neil Nelson taking over as CEO and chairman of the board. And here's how ESI got to this point. So shortly after that opening prayer at that meeting on Thursday, ESI...
Why are they praying at a business meeting?
Who prays at a business meeting?
You guys build houses. What the fuck are you praying for?
I'm so sick. I'm
are.
not an atheist. I'm sick.
You have a cold.
I am not an atheist, but I am so sick of having to pray all the time at places. What the fuck?
Is that how they're leveling the plumb bob or whatever? They're just like, I pray that this is level.
Yeah, like, why are you praying at a corporate meeting? It's so weird.
Jan says, as a builder, he was using the 3-4-5 method to find the 90-degree angle.
ESI President Neil Nelson, as just mentioned, said he and CEO Tom Hill were told to not do anything political during this event.
They didn't see that part.
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
They only skimmed the email.
They were told by advisors it was, quote, high risk with no reward. But Hill said he was going to do it anyway. And he proceeded to play that 15 to 20-second slideshow of President Trump praising the results of the presidential election. That's when the Nazi salutes came out. We were told a handful of people then walked out of that meeting. There was a statement sent out on Friday excusing the salute as parody, as part of a political skit. Unfortunately...
Oh, it's all funny until someone throws a Nazi salute, and then it's not funny anymore.
So this is 3 days earlier than the other one. Unfortunately, my recent attempt at humor and parody fell short and is being used by others to unfairly judge me. What? Dude, you're supposed to go up there and say, we're going to make a lot of money this year. Yay. That's all you're supposed to go up there and do.
Yeah, or we're not going to make a lot of money. Boo.
Boo. Unfairly judge me, and more importantly, our amazing company and its people. At the beginning of our annual State of the Company event, I briefly commented on the election, and as part of a political skit, mimicked... Oh, you're going to try to pull them down with you? I mimicked Elon Musk and President Trump's signature dancing. I did so as a commentary on the craziness of our political environment and nothing more. Without a doubt, I unequivocally reject any association with hate groups and or hate towards any group of people. I sincerely regret that my actions offended anyone or could be taken so out of context.
That was ChatGPT too.
Hell yeah.
My recent attempt at humor and parody fell short and is being used by others to unfairly judge me, Hill wrote. A commentary on the craziness of our political environment and nothing more, Hill said.
I read it better.
Taken so out of context. And some might say a Nazi salute only adds to that craziness, and claiming it was taken out of context is an odd way to apologize. Then an internal memo became public over the weekend, which Hill wrote,
Oh my God.
I'm a Christian, I'm a Republican, a patriot, and a successful businessman. Also a son, brother, husband, and father. I've learned today that some people will hate me for the first 3 or 4 things on that list.
All right, sure. If that's what you want to claim.
Dude, no one cares about you. Is that
Nobody-
what it is, Tim? They're not feeling special?
How much more special do they need to be?
You're a Christian Republican. That's almost all of them. And everybody considers themselves a patriot, so you're not sticking out of the crowd here, guy. What are you talking about?
I don't know, man.
It's like being oppressed by, I'm just oppressed by all these women. What are you talking about?
Doesn't exactly sound like contrition, does it? So those are 2 attempts, not quite the ownership and apology many might have expected, including ESI employees. So that was allowed to stew for a couple of days. And then Sunday, a 3rd statement was released by
no.
ESI's CEO.
Oh, no.
Dude, you email it on Sunday, it's all bad.
First line, deepest apologies for my
Holy,
actions at a
that's
recent
long.
employee gathering. I now fully recognize the gesture is not only inappropriate, but also profoundly hurtful. In this one, Hill admits it was a Nazi salute.
If he was a real Christian, he would have turned the other cheek. Oh, Chrissy, what's up?
The most recognizable of all Nazi symbols, and it represents hate, oppression, and unspeakable atrocities. No context or excuse can change that, and I take full responsibility for the offense caused. Hill went on to say his previous attempt to explain his actions also fell short. He realized it was defensive, and it missed the mark. So there was some contrition there. But this part was also interesting. After significant feedback from those who were in the room or those who have seen the video, Hill wrote, I understand how inappropriate that Nazi salute was. He's sorry for compromising the trust from employees and the community. And about that, many wondered about the impacts of this company because ESI employs more than 1,000 people. And like a stainless steel refrigerator, you can see their fingerprints all over this state.
Yo, that was good. Hey.
That's a good analogy.
Hey, guy. I don't know who wrote that for you. If you wrote up your piece yourself, you're getting pretty close to getting unboxed there, buddy. You're getting,
yeah.
That was catchy. You're Olbermann territory right now. Keep up the good work.
Including at Boise State University's brand new ESI Construction Management Building, on which they broke ground just 1 month ago. The latest in construction technology, we're told, featuring a 40-seat computer lab, classrooms, and a 3,300 square foot high bay with an overhead crane. Okay, so what about that building? Well, Boise State is still going ahead with it, saying we unequivocally condemn and will not tolerate any form of anti-Semitism, racism, harassment, or discrimination. We've spoken with senior leadership at ESI about this matter. We expect ESI to hold true to the commitments they have made in this state.
Oh my God, he almost fumbled the bag.
Yeah, that's why he had to resign.
That's why he resigned.
There was probably a closed-door meeting where they were like, listen, if this guy doesn't go, we're pulling everything.
Yeah, we'll find somebody else to build it.
Yeah.
And for ESI, that was probably their biggest contract that year. And here comes Dum Dum. High on Nazi juice.
Out there fucking Nazi saluting. It was like, yeah, it was a Nazi salute. I guess it wasn't funny, you know.
Like, how come... Maybe, Tim, I need you to translate whiteness for me here.
Okay.
So every time that people were challenged to record themselves doing the Nazi salute, they wouldn't do the Nazi salute. They would make some excuse. And then when they did do the Nazi salute, they all got fired.
Uh-huh.
From their jobs, or people like canceled their company, or like put out like massive 1 stars on Google or something like that. How do people still think that they can get away with it when even amongst the whites, they do not approve of the Nazi salute?
I think here's the problem.
Is there inner turmoil of the pale skinners?
There is. And it's about the fact that we never fixed racism. We never fixed we never fixed racism. We never fixed anti-Semitism. There's just always been those whites in the society, and for a little while they were underground, but now people are feeling more free to express their fascism, if you will.
He said, "Don't do anything political." All right. He said, "Cool, got it." You guys
Cool.
got my
Cool,
video.
got it.
Y'all got my slideshow for Trump. It's like 17 pictures. Can you put it up? Ugh.
Statement addressing this concerning incident. Holding true, meaning I guess they likely knew this resignation was coming.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so for anyone
yeah.
out there who thinks it would be good comedy to just throw out a Nazi salute,
Yeah, you can have the contract, but I would require the head of the king.
word to the wise, it's not, never will be, and we can never take such situations too seriously. That's according to the Wasma Center for Human Rights.
So I go
Uh-huh.
to a lot of open mics
Right.
with a lot of different kinds of comedians. And in the last 2 years, I have not seen a single comedian throw a Nazi salute just because they thought it was funny. Like, there's some things
Comedy's dead,
that you
Tim.
just don't do. We make fun of Nazis and we make fun of the racists, but no one's out there throwing Nazi salutes saying, "Isn't this just a hilarious thing?" Nah, bro, it don't happen that way unless you're like actually a Nazi.
I just don't get it. Like everyone's so proud of World War II, right? Like everyone's so proud of it. And even Germany, like AFD excluded, is very proud of how they've cleaned up after World War II and gotten rid of that element. But it's like, Well, Tim, we have a clip from you.
I have clips.
This is ketamine at the cabinet meeting.
Oh yeah, this is Trump's first cabinet meeting, and Elon Musk is there for no reason.
I like the suit he was wearing. Oh wait, he didn't.
Elon, if you could get up and explain where you are, how you're doing, and how
Oh yeah, I'm in the room with you right now.
Oh man, listen, if he doesn't say that, he's totally missing the softball.
much we're cutting, and it's an honor to.
Oh whoa. You know, you've been telling us for months now about Trump and this natural light thing. Holy Oompa Loompa, Batman.
I'm telling you.
Holy shit.
I'm telling you. He hates it.
I can't take this person seriously.
It also the direct light over his head illuminates the bald spots.
Oh yeah.
So he hates all of that.
Get up
He hates all of
and explain where you are,
Ugh, his nose is all crinkly. What's going on with you, man?
how you're doing, and how much we're cutting, and it's an honor to have you. He's been a tremendously
Yeah, thanks for dressing up.
successful guy. He's really working so hard, and
Take
he's
that
got businesses
fucking hat
to run.
off.
Yeah, why are you wearing a hat inside, man?
Do you see anyone else wearing a fucking hat, you 3-year-old?
Even Stephen Miller's not wearing a hat, and he should.
And in many ways,
Is that Benjamin Franklin to the left? Oh man, poor Ben. He's got to watch all this shit happen. In my made-up cartoon brain, when someone makes a statue of you, it like traps your soul, and you have to look through the eyes of your statue for all eternity. And he's over like, fuck, no,
God damn it! God damn it!
Stuff it.
they say, how do you do this? And it's he's sacrificing a lot.
Oh, look at this lineup. Let's look at this.
Look at the.
We got
look at
Burgum,
the-
Rubio,
Yeah.
RFK Jr., Table Lady,
Linda McMahon.
and then what's his face from that?
Oh, that's Vaught.
yeah,
That's
Vaught from fucking Project 2025, which is never heard of. I don't know anything about it. But he's on your fucking cabinet, just like it said
Hey,
in there.
Hey, where's Vance in all this? Does he gonna not get to sit at the big kids table? Is
He's
he on
under
the side
the
somewhere?
table doing his job.
And getting a lot of praise, I'll tell you. But he's also
Licking boots. What'd you guys think I was talking about? You nasties.
getting hit, and we would expect that, and that's the way it works. So I'd like.
No one has touched their water except Burgum.
I mean,
and McMahon.
If I was sitting in a room with Trump and like there was
RFK.
water.
If RFK's in my room,
Well, he's
I'm not
not-
drinking that water.
Yeah, he's not drinking. Well, first, either RFK's not drinking it because there's fluoride in it and he hates fluoride for some reason, or like He's waiting for other people to drink it first to make sure that it's not like poisoned or whatever.
Maybe he has rabies and he's afraid to drink water.
Oh boy,
the brainworm gave him rabies, so he's like, oh, I only take my hydration intravenously.
He's our Secretary of Health and Human Services now. Hey, where the fuck is fucking Fox News guy? Where's Hegseth?
He's on the other side.
Oh, he's on the other side.
Right next to him.
I'd like to have Elon Musk please say a few words.
Thank you, Elon.
And then Elon went to talk for 45 minutes.
God.
Thank you, Mr. President. I actually just call myself a humble tech support here because this is actually...
Homeboy right here, he is not laughing. This is not funny.
Yeah, you know how fucking Stephen Miller's got a smile, and the guy on the left has a smile, and like that guy's like, fucking, fuck this guy.
Get out of here, you damn cat! Cat, get out of here!
That is exactly what he's thinking. Get out of here, you damn cat.
He's over here trying to crawl up the green screen. The green screen is against the wall. Where are you trying to go? He thinks there's like Narnia back there or something. I don't know what. He's always trying to get back behind the green screen. It's up. It's flush against the wall, Dexter. Stand down.
As crazy as it sounds, that is almost a literal description of the work that the Doge team is doing, is helping fix the government computer systems. Many of these systems are extremely old. They don't communicate. There are a lot of mistakes in the systems. The software doesn't work. So we are...
Bro, your software could use an update, just saying.
Yeah. Have you fucking been on X lately? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Actually, Texas.
I was talking about his brain.
Oh, it's ironic, but it's true. The overall goal here with the Doge team is to help.
Bro is not having. Mr. White Shirt, Red Tie here is completely unenthused about this.
Yeah. He's probably, I don't know who that guy is, but he's probably like an old school like politician or staffer, and he's like, I fucking hate this whole place.
Ironic, but it's true.
Look at him.
The overall goal here with the Doge team is to help address the enormous deficit.
That was a harumph if I've ever seen one.
We cannot sustain it.
That was a I hate my job. That was a I hate my job for sure.
It's gonna be a long 4 years, man.
$2 trillion deficit.
2 years from retirement.
The interest rates, just the interest on the national debt, now exceeds the Defense Department spending. We spend a lot on the Defense Department, but we're spending like over $1 trillion on interest. If this continues,
and that is why we're going to cut defense spending, especially for SpaceX.
And that is why we're going to cut taxes and increase spending.
The country will become de facto bankrupt. It's not an optional thing; it is an essential thing. That's the reason I'm here, and taking a lot of flack and getting a lot of death threats. By the way, I mean,
no one's death threatening you.
No.
We would never threaten your life, Elon. We would never do that.
I've been watching Red Tie Guy, and he continues to like stare off into the medium distance. He's just like, I fucking hate all of this. He's just pretending he's not there.
We would never threaten you. You have your kid attached to your head at all times. What are you talking about?
Back him up.
But I mean, taking away the health care for veterans is, I mean, they're...
Yeah, I know.
That's probably not a good idea.
Firing 1,000 VA workers is... That's good government right there.
At least they're not soldiers.
Yet.
Who wipe dirt on themselves and disappear for 6 weeks.
Yeah. But if we don't do this, America will go bankrupt. That's why it has to be done. I'm confident at this point, knock on wood, knock on my wooden head.
Confirmed, he is a puppet.
He's got a lot of wood up there.
What is the fucking hand triangle thing he's doing? Like, what is that?
He's trying to look like he knows what he's talking about.
He's trying to look like fucking Mr. Burns.
Excellent, Smithers.
That we can actually find $1 trillion in savings. That would be roughly 15% of the $7 trillion budget. And obviously that can only be done with the support of everyone in this room. And I'd like to thank everyone for your support. Thank you very much. This can only be done with your support. So this is...
Have you considered writing things down? Perhaps tweeting it to yourself so that you'll know what the fuck you're talking about when standing up in front of a meeting.
Really, Doge is a support function for the president and for the agencies and departments to help achieve those savings and to effectively find 15% in reduction in fraud and waste. And we bring the receipts. So people say like, well, is this real? Just go to doge.gov. We line item by line item, we specify each item. So,
do you really though?
No, he does, but they're all so very wrong. They're all so very wrong. That's already been. I think Doge.gov has had to retract most of the stuff they said they saved because they're not actually saving it. Because a lot of the contracts that they said that they canceled already have to be paid out, or have already been paid out.
I saved money by cutting the money we already spent.
Like some of those contracts have money that's like guaranteed that the government has to pay out or has already paid out. So like he's not really saving anything. That's the problem.
So Tim, when I get my credit card statement every month, what I'm going to start doing is line by line, just start putting a line through it with a Sharpie marker. That is saving us thousands of dollars.
So much money.
I just put a line through things that I've already spent the money on. That is how I save money. I stopped the payment on something that's already in my house and paid for. That I paid cash for. He's weird.
He's so dumb. He's so dumb. You can't run government like a business. It's just not a business.
It runs at a loss on purpose. Because people need services.
I should say, we will make mistakes. We won't be perfect. But when we make...
Man, it's almost like you could, like, read the shit before you did something. It's almost like you could measure twice, cut once. Huh.
I don't get the whole, we make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, no, we get it. But the things that you're fucking up are big things.
And you know why? You want to know why no one else has fucked it up in the way that you're fucking it up right now? Because they look at it first.
They take a few seconds and they read what the fuck they're doing.
Mistake. We'll fix it very quickly. So, for example, with USAID, one of the things we accidentally canceled very briefly was Ebola, Ebola prevention. I think we all want.
So you looked at Ebola and then you just deleted it? Oh no, you just went with a broad brush and just well, we got to put that back in. That's not how anyone works, dude. That's not how the government is supposed to work. You want to know why? Because your ass is not supposed to fucking be there. It's not left in the hands of one fucking person. Because anybody who could tell you no would have said, hey, stupid, Ebola's in here. Our Ebola protections are in here. So don't do that.
Yeah, don't fucking get rid of all the programs just because you don't like one or two of them.
Ebola prevention. So,
well, I mean, and we got to make sure that we frame this the right way. All of this is to fund their permanent tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires. That's what this is.
Yeah.
So all of this, we're trying to save waste and da-da. No. You couldn't get the debt ceiling up in time because the Democrats wouldn't play ball. So now you got to find the money and you got to try and increase the debt ceiling or remove the debt ceiling completely. And now you're scrambling. So you bring in the most ketamine addicted fool that the earth has ever seen. Maybe he hasn't used today. I can't tell if that's just like the color of his eyes or if that's just solid pupil at this point. There is a reason why we have Ways and Means and appropriations and the GOA and all that. Like, we have mechanisms for this. We've been running this country a long ass time before your ass showed up.
So we restored the...
You're muted.
Unmute myself. There we go. I learned that the reconciliation process actually avoids those committees. It just goes through the rules committee.
Yeah.
So like all the the Ways and Means and Appropriations committees, and then all the relevant committees for whatever, let's say, military or education or housing, like all that stuff is skipped. Usually there's a whole the federal government is supposed to be done between January and let's say June, the end of June, because the fiscal year starts July 1st. So that entire time, those 6 months, the federal government is supposed to be like working towards a budget, and it's supposed to go through all the relevant committees in both the House and the Senate, and then they're supposed to come to an agreement.
It takes a long time.
This process skips like half of that.
Right.
And then you're only getting simple majorities in the Senate. That's, I mean, not that the Democrats didn't do it, because Biden did it too, but it's not regular order.
Nerds. Christina says, I love how he thinks that one of the deadliest viruses on the planet is a laughing matter. We can't, I haven't confirmed it yet, but one of his little algorithm named children out there in Texas might have the old measles.
All of prevention immediately, and there was no interruption. But we do need to move quickly if we're to achieve a $1 trillion deficit.
Why? Why do you have to go quickly?
So no one catches him doing illegal shit.
Oh.
Reduction in financial year 2026. It requires saving $4 billion per day, every day, from now through the end of September. But we can do it, and we will do it. Thank you.
Yeah, debatable, homie.
Yeah.
Debatable.
Yeah, super debatable. Because he's an idiot.
Let's see. Next on the chopping block. Oh, my God. Oh, man. This show is going to get harder and harder, isn't it?
Hey, at least it's only a 2-minute clip.
We're going to be doing something else that's going to be very, very good. We're going to be selling a gold card.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my. So, Mikey, going back to the lighting conversation, you notice how the Oval Office has a lot of windows, a lot of natural light. He loves it. Much less orange.
Why is your hand on top of your hand there, Trumpy?
Because Macron, punched him in the hand. They did a fist bump, and Trump was like, ow.
Look, he won't move his hand the whole time. He always talks with his hand. Look at him covering it. I can see the bruise coming from underneath your little tiny fingers.
Selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship. And wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people.
Who the hell? You just said you're lowering the taxes. What do you mean they're going to be paying a lot of taxes?
Hey, all you poors out there, Trump doesn't want you in the country anymore. He's going to have all his rich oligarch friends show up and be like, we're American citizens now.
I have an idea. What if, Tim, if we had $5 million and we gave that $5 million to an undocumented migrant from Nicaragua or Venezuela, and then they buy that card, and then they bring in their family, and then we get another. So we'll just, $5 million at a time, just hustle everybody through.
Yeah.
This is my extended family, and now they get to come in too.
Yeah, we only have to gather $5 million once, right?
And then we just hustle everybody in.
Yeah. I like it.
Like 3 kids in a trench coat to get into the movies. $5 million for all these undocumented people, please.
And we think it's going to be extremely successful.
Here's my question, Tim. Where's the money go?
Right into Trump's pockets. I don't know. I don't know where the money goes. $5 million? Who knows?
Who can say?
Yeah, who can say?
Billy says $4 million every day. He said billion.
Yes, he did say billion, which he can't accomplish.
No, because the money's not there.
Have been done before or anything like this, but it's something that we're going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks out? Do you want to say a couple of words about it?
The president said rather than having this sort of
holy shit, this ambulance chaser
ridiculous EB-5 program, we're going to end the EB-5 program. We're going to replace it with the Trump Gold Card, which is really a green card gold. So they'll be able to pay $5 million to the U.S. government. They'll have to go through vetting, of course. We're going to make sure they're wonderful, world-class, global citizens. They can come to America. The president can give them a green card, and they can invest in America, and we can use that.
Well, how are they going to invest? They just spent their $5 million to get in.
Money to reduce our deficit. Why do we give out lotteries of green cards? Why do we give out EB-5 for green cards? The President of the United States understand.
Hey, you got a bunch of money over there? Would you like to come to this crumbling economy where there isn't anything to eat and the water's not safe? Come on down. Come on down to America.
Come to America.
It's only $5 million, and you may or may not get polio. So
wait, did he say they're getting rid of the EB-5 program?
Correct.
And the lottery?
Correct.
Oh boy. They're doing some wild shit over there.
Right answer is, why don't we eliminate the deficit of the United States?
Whoa, hold on. I just thought of something, Tim.
What?
Why can't we sell our citizenship?
Ooh, for $5 million.
An auction. I mean,
and
$5 million
we can
is
take our
floor.
$5,000 and get a gold card. For $5 million and get a gold card.
I'm just saying. Yeah. We fucking sell it for 5.5 and then come back and then we got $500,000. This is how we hustle the system. I should be able to sell my citizenship. If he's able to sell it, I should be able to sell mine.
States of America instead.
Selling mine right now for $30.
Be eligible for a gold card?
Would a Russian oligarch be eligible for a green card?
Yeah, possibly. Hey, I know some Russian oligarchs that are very nice people.
Oh
It's
my
possible.
God. Bro.
They're not quite as wealthy as they used to be. They're not as wealthy as they used to be. I think they can afford.
He's laughing.
Oh my God. He's literally selling out America to Russian oligarchs.
He's not compromised, Tim. Why would you say that?
I know lots of Russian oligarchs. They're fine people.
Yeah, you
They're
probably
good people on both sides.
You probably shouldn't tell everybody that you know a bunch of Russian oligarchs.
My God.
Scott says, Mikey, I'd not give you $10 for it right now. Damn it. You know the value on my citizenship is really going down these days. Diz. Dexter, why are you still in here, dog? Cat.
He loves that green screen.
He's trying to get under here. I have to shake a water bottle at him because he's like, oh, he might spray me. He doesn't know that this isn't the spray bottle. And for all of you on the internet telling me not to spray my cat, no, it's hilarious because I miss and he runs so far. Get it? I missed. Jesus, plane.
That's loud, airplane.
Coming in for a landing here at O'Hare International Airport. Whoa, whoa, plane, private jet on the runway. Private jet. Jesus Christ. You know, we don't need all those FAA workers.
Yeah, you definitely don't need those air traffic control workers to make sure that there's no fucking airplanes about to collide with other airplanes as they're landing.
I mean,
like, I get that it's Southwest Airlines or whatever, but you know, you taking your life into your own hands at this point.
I gotta do this in another window because I don't want you nerds knowing where I live. Hold on.
So I heard that the private plane was told not to go out onto the runway, and they did it anyway because there was a plane landing.
A much bigger plane, by the way.
A much bigger plane.
A very large plane.
And so they ignored it. They ignored the ground traffic controller, and they went out across the runway anyway. And they almost collided with if those fucking Southwest Airlines pilots didn't have the wherewithal to fucking lift off again.
Yeah.
Or they didn't have the fucking speed to lift off again. Because they were landing. Like, if it was a little bit later in their landing, they might not have had the lift to get up.
So, here we go. 10. Oh, God, I can't see what it says. 31C. Okay, 31C. Okay, here's 28C. I pulled up the airport.
Oh, I see. Well, it's Midway Airport in Chicago.
That's oh, it's Midway?
Yeah, it's Midway. It says Midway Airport, Chicago. Chicago.
That is not where I was looking.
Yeah, yeah.
I was at O'Hare. Okay, here we go. O'Hare
Chicago?
is smaller.
O'Hare's smaller than Midway?
No, Midway's smaller, I'm saying.
Oh, Midway's smaller, okay. So like a JFK LaGuardia situation where JFK is the international airport and LaGuardia is like just national?
I think Midway does some international flights. But O'Hare is the hub for like United and a couple of other big airlines. So it is huge.
Yeah, I know. Their terminals are fucking gigantic.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I love when people fly into O'Hare, though, because I fucking pull out my Pokemon Go. It's like every fucking block is a Pokemon stop. It's fantastic. Okay, I think I found it. Okay. Yeah, I think I found it. Yeah, this is it. Okay, here's 31C. So he came in. Can we do split screen?
Boop. Split screen.
And where'd it go? Oh, it's full screen.
Yeah, it didn't split screen.
Go back. Okay. So so that's right here. I'll do so it was coming down right after the little road here. So that's like right here. That's where all the little skid markies are.
Yeah.
And it had to pull up because homeboy was going across where? Looks like the second one in. So they're coming in. And homeboy is right here.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 feet, couple of thousand feet.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if those Southwest pilots weren't like on their feet, thinking on their feet, they would have fucking hit them.
Yeah, I think he taxied across here. Whew. And for the record, fucking planes take off and land at like 150 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like they're going very quick. Holly.
And once you hit those brakes, there's no like taking back off again.
Yeah, they lock.
So they're lucky that like the Southwest plane wasn't hitting their brakes, because that would have been it.
Yeah, this is Midway. Midway's kind of tiny. I mean, tiny for an airport. Sheesh. Whoop, I'll be walking to all of my family functions this year. I'm just going to get the stroller out and jeez, man. Because, landing gear's out. Flaps and drag flint fins are extended to spoil the lift so they can slow the plane down.
Yeah, they had to like immediately reverse all that, right?
They might have almost touched. Landing gear up, pull up. All flaps and drag fins are retracting so they can get that lift back, so they can get that plane up out of the way. Sheesh.
Yep, the landing gear's going back in. Yeah, so like, crisis averted, but just nearly.
Oh, Tim, you sound terrible.
I'm dying. I'm dying. So I have a last video and in the chat, but I don't know if you want to play it till the end or whatever, because it's not like a current news video, but it's been like floating around in my brain about the sage, Keith Olbermann, about what's currently going on and stuff he said 15 years ago.
Oh my God, these fucking 240p fucking videos.
It was 15 years ago.
I don't care.
They didn't have high definition in 2010.
You can clean it up.
You can, but
they didn't.
So, I think we played this video once, but it was on Unboxed. And, but boy, the more time goes on, the more fucking relevant it is.
Are we doomed?
Yes.
Goodbye, everyone.
Finally tonight, as promised, a special comment on the Supreme Court's ruling today in the case Citizens United v. Federal Election Commission.
Oh, when we lost our country.
The cold morning of Friday, March 6, 1857, a very old man who was born just 8 months and 13 days after the Declaration of Independence was adopted, a man who was married to the sister of the man who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner, a man who was enlightened enough to have freed his own slaves and given pensions to the ones who had become too old to work, read aloud in a reed-thin voice from a very long handwritten document. In it, he ruled on a legal case involving a slave brought by his owner to live in a free state, yet to remain a slave. The slave sought his freedom and sued, and looking back over legal precedent and the Constitution and the America in which it was created, this judge ruled that no black man could ever be considered an actual citizen of the United States. They had for more than a century before been regarded as beings of an inferior order and altogether unfit to associate with the white race, either in social or political relations, and so far unfit that...
And that's why we're blackening all your children.
I guess it also has Black History Month implications as well.
We'll take it.
They had no rights, which the white man was bound to respect. The case, of course, was Dred Scott. The old man was the 5th Chief Justice of the United States of America, Roger Brooke Taney. The outcome, he believed, would be to remove the burning question of abolition of slavery from the political arena for once and for all. The outcome, in fact, was the Civil War. No American ever made a single bigger mission.
Wait, look at that superior race. A scrotum with eyes.
Judgment. No American ever carried the responsibility for the deaths and suffering of more Americans on his shoulders. No American was ever more quickly vilified. Within 4 years, Chief Justice Taney's rulings were being ignored in the South and the North. Within 5, President Lincoln, at minimum, contemplated arresting him.
What a punchable face.
You can arrest Supreme Court justices? Because, man, there's a few.
Clarence is like, click, click, locking the doors on his motor coach.
Within 7, he died in poverty while still Chief Justice. Within 8, Congress had voted to not place a bust of him alongside those of the other former Chief Justices. But good news tonight, Roger B. Taney is off the hook. Today, the Supreme Court of Chief Justice John Roberts, in a decision that might actually have more dire implications than Dred Scott v. Sanford, declared that because of the alchemy of its 19th century predecessors in deciding that corporations had all...
The neighbors are doing some sort of like home interior work, so he's like tacking something into the wall. Dum Dum thinks we're being invaded and keeps reminding me like, the Western Gates.
All the rights of people.
The beacons are lit.
Gondor needs our aid.
Restrictions on how these corporate beings spend their money on political advertising are unconstitutional. In short, the First Amendment, free speech for persons, which went into effect in 1791, applies to corporations, which were not recognized as the equivalents of persons until 1886. In short, there are now no checks on the ability of corporations or unions or other giant aggregations of power to decide our elections.
South African billionaires?
None.
Yep.
They can spend all the money they want, and if they can spend all the money they want, sooner rather than later, they will implant the legislators of their choice in every office, from president to head of the visiting nurse service. And if senators and congressmen and governors and mayors and councilmen and everyone in between.
This just in from Daily Blase. Hot news. Apparently our king has bent the knee and offered the orange one a second state visit.
Oh.
Sorry. That's all I can say is sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Are entirely beholden to the corporations for election and re-election to office. Soon they will erase whatever checks there might still exist to just slow down the ability of corporations to decide the laws. It is almost literally true that any political science fiction nightmare you can now dream up, no matter whether you are conservative or liberal, it is now legal. Because the people who can make it legal can now be entirely bought and sold. No actual citizens required in the campaign fundraising process. And the entirely bought and sold politicians can change any laws. And any legal defense you can structure now can be undone by the politicians who will be bought and sold into office this November or 2 years from now. And any legal defense which honest politicians can somehow wedge up against them this November or 2 years from now That can be undone by the next, even larger set of politicians who will be bought and sold into office in 2014 or 2016 or 2018. Mentioning Lincoln's supposed ruminations about arresting Roger B. Taney.
2026.
He didn't say the original of this, but what the hell? Right now, you can prostitute all the politicians some of the time and prostitute some of the politicians all the time, but you cannot prostitute all the politicians all the time. Thanks to Chief Justice Roberts.
Does that need to go on the soundboard?
I
It's
don't
a
know.
little long, but I love it.
It is a little, yeah. Like up until this point, boy, he's just right.
He's a soothsayer.
He's a
scrying mage. He looks into the tea leaves. He looks into the future.
The future.
This will now change. Unless this near mortal blow is somehow undone within 10 years, every politician in this country will be a prostitute. And now let's contemplate what the perfectly symmetrical, money-driven world of that order might look like. Be prepared first for laws criminalizing or at least neutering unions. In today's court decision, they are the weaker of the non-human sisters unfettered by the court. So, as in ancient Rome...
Sorry, I had to check on the kiddo. I thought she was like trying to fall asleep on her blocks. She was swimming in them.
Well, sometimes you got to swim in the blocks.
I'm like, what the fuck? Oh no, the baby's down. She's in there.
Rome or medieval England, they will necessarily be strangled by the stronger sibling, the corporations, so that they pose no further threat to the corporations' total control of our political system. Be prepared then for the reduction of taxes for the wealthy and for the corporations. And the elimination of the social safety nets for everybody else.
Oh my
because
God.
money spent on the poor means less money left for the corporations. Be prepared then for wars sold as the new products, which Andy Card once described them as, year after year, as if they were new Fox reality shows.
Oh my God.
Because military-industrial complex corporations are still corporations. Be prepared then for the ban on same-sex marriage and on abortion and on evolution being taught and on separation of church and state. The most politically agitated group of citizens left are the evangelicals. Throw them some red meat to feed their holier-than-thou rationalizations, and they won't care what else you do to this corporate nation.
They certainly don't.
Be prepared then for racial and religious profiling, because you've got to blame somebody for all the reductions in domestic spending and civil liberties just to make...
How does he know?
He saw into the future.
Because this came out in, what year is this?
2010. This was the day after the Citizens United rulings. It was 2010.
Shit.
Sure, the agitators against the United Corporate States of America are kept unheard. Be prepared for those poor, dumb, manipulated bastards, the Tea Partiers, to have a glorious few years as the front men, as the corporations that bankroll them slowly unroll their total control of our political system.
Oh my
God. And then be prepared to watch them be banished, maybe outlawed, when a few of the brighter ones suddenly realize that the corporations have made them merely the Judas goats of American freedom.
God.
And be prepared.
You know what we are, Tim? We're the goats that they put outside the T-Rex pen on Jurassic Park 1. Just bleeding in the rain.
Then, for the bank reforms that President Obama has just this day vowed to enable to be rolled back by his successor, purchased by the banks with the money President Bush gave them, his successor, presumably President Palin, because if you need a friendly face of fascism, you might as well get one that can wink. And if you need a tool of whichever large industries buy her first, you might as well get somebody who lives up to that word, tool.
Trump's a tool.
Be prepared for the little changes, too. If there are any small towns left to take over, Walmart can now soften them up with carpet advertising for their Walmart.
He did not anticipate Amazon.
He did not anticipate. Yeah, this is before Amazon's like total control of everything.
Yeah, he didn't know that one yet.
Town council candidates brought to you by Walmart. Be prepared for the Richard Mellon scapes to drop such inefficiencies as vanity newspapers and simply buy and install their own city governments in the Pittsburghs. Be prepared for the personally wealthy men like John Kerry to become the paupers of the Senate, or the ones like Mike Bloomberg not even surviving the primary against Halliburton's choice for mayor of New York City. Be prepared for the end of what you're watching now. I don't just mean me. or this program or this network. I mean all the independent news organizations and the propagandists like Fox for that matter, because Fox inflames people against the state. And after today's ruling, the corporations will only need a few more years of inflaming people before the message suddenly shifts to everything's great. Glenn Beck and Rush Limbaugh don't even realize it. Today, John Roberts just cut their...
Rush Limbaugh's dead.
Yeah, he's super dead. Keith Olbermann didn't see that one coming, did he?
I knew that would come in handy.
Throats, too. So with critics silenced and bought off, and even the town assessor who lives next door to you elected to office with campaign funds 99.9% drawn from corporate coffers, what are you going to do about it? The internet. The internet. Ask them about the internet in China. Kiss net neutrality goodbye.
Check.
Kiss whatever right to privacy on the net you think you currently have goodbye.
Yep.
Check.
And anyway, what are you going to complain about if you don't even know it happened? In the new world unveiled this morning by...
Bro, we could have a whole show just going through all of these Olbermann reports and just just with a checklist. It's like, damn. Is he a writer for The Simpsons? Like, what is this?
By John Roberts, who stops Rupert Murdoch from buying the Associated Press?
England.
Yeah, who's going to stop Rupert Murdoch from buying the Associated? I mean, come on, he could.
I mean, instead of buying the Associated Press, he just made his own version.
Yeah, he did.
GB News, everybody.
This decision, which in mythology would rank somewhere between the bottomless pit and the opening of Pandora's box, got next to no coverage in the right-wing media today, almost nothing in the middle, and a lot less than necessary on the left. The right wing won't even tell their constituents that they're being sold into bondage alongside the rest of us. Why should they? For them, the start of this will be wonderful. The Republicans, the Conservatives, the Joe Liebermans, the Tea Partiers are in the front aisle at the political prostitution store. They are specially discounted old favorites for their corporate masters. Like the first years of irreversible climate change for the Conservatives, the previously cold winter will grow delightfully warm. Only later will it be hot, then unbearable, then flames. And the Conservatives will burn with the rest of us, and they'll never know what happened.
Ooh, it's coming.
What are you going to do about it? Turn to free speech advocates? These were the free speech advocates. The lawyer for that homunculus who filed this suit, David Bossie, the lawyer is Floyd Abrams. Floyd Abrams, who has spent his life defending American freedoms, especially freedom of speech. Apparently, this life was spent this way in order to guarantee that when it really counted, he could help the corporations destroy free speech. His argument, translated from self-satisfied legal jargon, is that as a function of the First Amendment, you must allow for the raping and pillaging of the First Amendment by people who can buy
TOS, buddy.
The First Amendment.
Yeah,
he will go down in the history books as the Quisling of freedom of speech in this country. That is, if the corporations who...
That's a very interesting term he used. Probably intentional.
Now, by the school boards which decide which history books get printed, approve if there are still history books.
PragerU, check.
Yeah, check, yeah.
So what are you going to do about it? Russ Feingold told me today there might yet be ways to work around this, to restrict corporate governance and how corporations make and spend their money. I pointed out that any such legislation, even if it somehow sneaked past this, the last U.S. Senate, not funded by a generous gift from the Chubb Group, would eventually wind up in front of a Supreme Court, and whether or not John Roberts was still at its head would be irrelevant. The next 9 men and women on the Supreme Court will get there not because of their judgment, nor even their politics. They will get there because they were appointed by purchased presidents and confirmed by purchased senators. This is what John Roberts did today. This is a Supreme Court-sanctioned murder of what little actual democracy is left in this democracy. It is government of the people, by the corporations, for the corporations. It is the Dark Ages. It is our Dred Scott. I would suggest a revolution, but a revolution against the corporations that make all the guns and the bullets? Maybe it won't be this bad. Maybe the corporations, legally defined as human beings, but without the pesky occasional human attributes of conscience and compassion. Maybe when handed the only keys to the electoral machine, they will simply not redesign America in their own corporate image. But let me leave you with this final question. After today, who's going to stop them? Good night and good luck.
The goat.
The goat.
The friggin' goat. And we didn't even get into the fucking AI video that Trump put out.
Oh God, I saw that, the Trump Gaza video.
I was aghast.
I was sickened. I mean, obviously I'm sick, but
it gave Tim a cold.
It gave me a cold.
It infected him with a virus, a norovirus. Nastiest shit I've ever fucking seen in my life, by the way. Nastiest.
Horrible. Keith Olbermann is obviously a time traveler.
I think that's the only conclusion that we can logically come to at this point.
It's either that or he was smart enough to realize that we're so fucked 15 years ago, and he just wanted to warn people. But I think he's a time traveler, and he traveled to the future, and he was like, guys, I gotta tell you, it's not great. It's not great in the future. Maybe you gotta stop this now.
Maybe he went up and like saw Joe Biden and was like, oh my God, look how bad it is.
Yeah.
And then he had no idea that Trump and Amazon and Musk were right around the corner. Like he didn't know. Like he only got like a peek. Like
right.
Like the man in the high tower. Like he was only able to shift up like a little bit, and then he had to come back. It's like, oh, let me tell you what happened.
But like, if you change, like, I don't know, he mentioned Palin as like the corporate president. You change Palin to Trump and Walmart to Amazon. He's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean that's what Trump is.
Yeah. He's owned by those Russian oligarchs he wants to invite into the country for $5 million each.
Jesus. Yeah, except for all their assets are frozen. That Trump AI, Chris C in the chat says that Trump AI video is disrespectful and is in very, very poor taste.
Agreed.
Billy asks, is the Trump Gaza vid an attempt at controlling a counter narrative? I don't even know, because there isn't a counter narrative, because at this point the American government has not been apologetic or even remorseful for Israel's actions that they completely enabled. They feel like it was a good thing. They feel like, hey, we're just helping our friend. It's not our fault our friend is, brutalizing an entire state of people. Like, we didn't do it. Like, that's their kind of stance on this, which is why Joe Biden and Kamala Harris lost the fucking election, because we are responsible and we are going to be written down in the history books as the villains, as this. Like, we will have enabled this and armed the bullies. So that video, and if you guys haven't seen it, I'm not showing it, because number one, we are 100% anti-AI over here. We don't play AI. Do the hard work yourself or fuck off. Like that's how it works over here.
Yeah.
But it's if you haven't seen it, it's truly grotesque. It shows, like, it starts off with like actual footage of the devastation in Palestine, and then it transforms into like this weird, like, unnaturally sunny beachfront Riviera casino, big towers everywhere, everything's gold, and it's like him and Philly Netanyahu are over there fucking sipping Mai Tais by the pool side, and like a kid has like a golden Trump balloon and everyone's smiling. It's just fucking bizarre. Just fucking bizarre.
And aside from that, is that it has that weird like AI quality where nothing is real.
Yeah. The camera jumps cuts like 65 times a second. Like, it's just like if you're any kind of person with any kind of empathy for children, elderly, you can't look at that and say, well, it's just a video. It's no big deal. It is like one of the most and this is all happening while six infants have frozen to death in Gaza this week, because the temporary like trailer homes are still sitting on the border and they won't let them in.
Right.
So the kids are literally outside in the elements in winter, freezing to death. and Trump's putting out videos about how it's going to be this Riviera. Like, I don't know if you can miss the point any harder. And like, of course, like everybody else, I thought it was fucking fake. I'm like, oh, who did that? No, it's from his account. And I don't know. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like content from a fucking Truth Social channel, that is just the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Just horrible.
So Mikey, on our
golden statue of Trump, it's all fucked up.
Yeah. On our last episode, we talked a lot about those Republican town halls.
Mm-hmm.
And surprise, surprise, most Republicans have canceled their town halls.
I wonder why.
I think it's because it was not a good outing. It wasn't a good outing for them.
They didn't like the they didn't like everybody asking them questions?
They didn't like it. They didn't like being asked questions about why they want everyone to be poor.
So here's our marching orders for the next until we see you guys. Oh, I have breaking news. Just got off of WhatsApp with Graham. Politics Social, the Friday Night Social, will be hosted right here on the Ben Podcast Network because Graham will be out of town celebrating his birthday. So it'll be the same group of fun-filled guests that you're used to, but it'll be over on this channel.
Wow.
So you guys can come. You guys can hang out with us tomorrow evening at 3 p.m. for us, but I think it's 9 p.m. for you. For you scone eaters, you tea sippers. So yes, that will be happening. So you guys will be over here, and you'll get the fucking soundboard, baby.
Yeah.
Get that soundboard. That's sweet soundboard. So don't miss that. And then tonight we got Unbox Politics.
Unbox.
We are not unboxing that video.
No.
I refuse to play that on our airwaves.
Yeah.
Fuck that forever.
It's gross.
Never. Oof.
I think we'll probably be unboxing some of those town hall videos.
Now that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I think we'll be doing a little bit of that.
And we'll be talking to Jagmeet Singh and about how he's going to let me live in his house until I get some citizenship.
Yeah.
In Canada.
In Canada.
The land of the free and the home of the MAPE.
Oh, the home of the MAPE.
The MAPE.
Separation of church and state.
Didn't mean to push that. Okay. Ben Social. Billy. That's why we keep you around. You're the ideas guy.
Yeah.
And just for the Brits, I got a couple of... Here we go.
I'm Idris Elba. I goes where I goes.
Sorry, and that I have made mistakes.
Oh, 9:30 p.m. UK time. There you go.
But them's the breaks.
I missed by half an hour. And many, many more fun things. Final words, Tim.
I really wish that Elon Musk would stop fucking with our government so much. And the Republicans would realize that they're dooming us all.
Yeah. So until oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, and of course, the soothsayer, as always, is correct.
Handed the only keys to the electoral machine, they will simply not redesign America in their own corporate image. But let me leave you with this final question. After today, who's going to stop them? Good night and good luck.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
God damn it, Zero.
Get him, Zero.
It's a hammer. You can't get a hammer.
Get the hammer.